Mbote Kembo Kemeneta Tanzania Mazulu Kimfumo Kyako Isa Nzambi Mawesha Nzambi Akabenesha Nzambi Monene Nzambi Mpungu Nzambi Anzola Nzambi Mkulu Kulu Modimo Sonina Nini Somanla. All praises to Tanzambi and Pungu. We give honor to all of you in this time that are doing the Most High's work. Mabote Kukwisi Mbote, welcome once again to another teaching that's coming from the Most High, not from me, coming from the Mwanda Belala, coming from the high priest in Kuswa Congo Fumu, the Makayan Zambi, the Maliki Makongo, the angels of Mbasi, of Toto, of the earth of truth, not the father of lies. And we're going to go into some things about why there's this now push to get all Black people to focus that America, you see what they're calling now foundational Black Americans. We're not doing the Wakanda stuff anymore, or we're not talking about Africa. The problem is, this is the reason why they lumped everybody into a specific group of people, because not everybody is the same. And they know this, and this is the deception of the deceiver. Okay? They always want to keep us focusing on the false gods. And remember, when the Messiah, when Messiah said they're gonna talk like us, they're gonna act like us, but they're not us. Okay? That doesn't just have to do with religion, but color too. Okay? So we have to understand that when they did the label African American, this only applies to people that come from Abana and Saka Yakubi. It doesn't apply to everyone. Not all Native Americans come from, when we talk about Africa being the foundational cradle of the life, I know when I stepped off the plane, I felt different. I knew it felt like I was in a different reality of power, okay? Because there are certain people who are given, this is why they wanted to change us and have different groups do what they did to us. It wasn't just white people who was raping us, it was Black people too. They're gonna find this out, okay? Because it was about bloodline. It's always been known about bloodline. That's why the Black nobility knows the bloodline better than even the white nobility. You don't understand. It's like people are gonna find this out. We are a threat to those who want to continue to worship gods that are there to harm the Most High's chosen people. This is why they had to go so far as to really dumb down the Christians into a belief that was not true the way they've been taught. And we're going to get into that. And what we're experiencing now with all of these, so-called sightings of, people keep talking about, oh yeah, we have these sightings of these different, beings and the stuff that's going on and why we're dealing with health problems. And we're going to get into that and why things now, you see what's talking about people getting killed in the Congo. And we see what's going on is that, I listened to something that somebody dropped in the box about what Mike Epps said about how white and Black people know God. And I'm going to talk about, we're going to get into why to know yourself for real. And when I say know yourself, it's like you can discern the the righteous from the wicked. Okay? This is the problem. And we're going to get into this is like we say the Christianized mentality, the colonial mentality. We're going to break it down what it really is to the nuts and bolts of it. Okay, when you're stripping it down to the bare minimum, everything is about frequency, how you resonate. Okay, melanin is important to both the God of righteousness and the God of wickedness. Okay. I have heard so many people talk about Africa didn't have this problem, Africa didn't have this problem until the colonizers showed up. Man, you better check yourself because the history has been wiped that Christianity existed in Africa even before colonial times. And they lied about that. Okay, they know it's a lie. Christianity had some roots even in the Americas before colonial times. It's a lie. Okay, man, these people want to continue to keep you in Egypt, and I do mean that because they're lying about what Christianity is. Okay, and this is what you got to understand. The sorcerer, the Wizard of Oz, whatever the heck they call him, he's going to keep spinning the narrative all kind of different ways. Because I told a brother today, those who are on your side are not envious of what the Father has called for you to do and will encourage you to continue to do what needs to be done and not use you for their purpose. Okay? This is important. Okay? Jealousy starts with what? Why you know more than I do? Or, man, I gotta his brother, he might get better than me. Okay? The whole purpose, even if, like I told people, even if a person is younger than me and they know more than I do, there is no reason for me to be in a position to where I have to act like, nah, you need to listen to me. I'm the elder here. This is the thing that got us in trouble in the time of the Most High's kingdom. And it's the same thing that why they had an issue with the Messiah himself. Remember, he was a child telling adults how it goes. People forget this whole concept about knowing who the Messiah is. He was a child speaking to adults, telling them how it goes. Okay? That is why you're going to always struggle with people who are in organized religion. Because the adults always want to think like they know more than the children. That is done on purpose for the people who are hypocrites. Because for a younger person to tell an older person you are acting in hypocrisy, that is a problem for them. Okay? They always will be. Because it's like, if you're teaching me to be a hypocrite, how can I trust you? Okay? And then don't assume that somebody isn't a hypocrite just because they tell you they're not. Meaning that their intent is to teach you to go to the God of hypocrisy rather than the God who is not a hypocrite. Okay? And that's the thing that people don't want to grasp in this world. That for one, the world of hypocrisy is not real to the one of the God who is not a hypocrite. Once you understand this concept, is what they don't want you to know. This is the secret. This is the deception. This is the smoke screen. This is the lie. Okay? You stop believing in the hypocrite, you become better than those who do. That's why when they want you to get to the point where it says, if you blaspheme the Holy Spirit, you're not saved in any realm. Why? That means you belong to the hypocrisy for eternity. And see, the whole purpose of what the Father has been doing this last 14 plus years or whatever he's been doing for people is, and especially going back to Simon Toko, Kimbangu, Padi, Matswa, any and all, Ganganzumbi, Kempa Vita, and all the other righteous Brasantu, okay? What he has been trying to demonstrate from the beginning of time is hypocrisy gets you killed. No hypocrisy keeps you alive. So therefore, that's why he said, make sure you don't call somebody something that you yourself are guilty of. But he didn't say, and this is the twisting part, he did say, but identify what you are guilty of and accept it and look to remove it. This is emptying the wineskin. You have to empty the wineskin of the hypocrisy. Yeah. You have to empty the wineskin of the hypocrisy and accept the wines and skip the wine of the not hypocrisy. And that's the problem. If people are refusing to get rid of the hypocritical Messiah, you cannot speak to these people. If they are not willing to get rid of the hypocritical doctrine and come to the non-hypocritical doctrine, they are not going to help you rise. Okay? Why is that significant? It doesn't matter if you know who you are if you're still under the hypocritical doctrine. And what I'm talking about is witchcraft. Witches and warlocks are the hypocritical doctrine. It is the sorcery that is involved. We honor the ancestors that we want to continue to focus on who did not walk in hypocrisy, but walked in righteousness. But don't assume that somebody who's telling you that, okay, is not trying to run their hypocrisy on you, not trying to scam you, not trying to be, it's like I said, you don't return evil for evil, okay? If you seem to think that someone that you're dealing with, and that's why I said, then you start, this was the problem with these Samuel. How can you remove the obstacle if you are being the obstacle? This is what he talked about when he said, don't return evil for evil, okay? So now, and at the same time, you cannot remove the hot obstacle if your God is the hypocrite, okay? So this is why when we talk about people, Mundele, Kadiampemba, the Gentiles, the pagans, when he said we are supposed to be a light unto the pagans, it means, and this is how they modified the scriptures. He said, you brought the hypocrites in here that don't belong in this kingdom. This is your problem because you yourself were also hypocrites. Okay? And this is the real scriptures. This ain't the one that they modified. I'm going to show you how they really modified it. They made you think that the hypocrites are the bloodline, are from the God who is not the hypocrite. No. But then they made those who don't come from the hypocritical God think they need salvation from the people who come from the hypocritical God. No way. It can't be that way. This is the deception. So now, by making everybody think that they come from the God who's not a hypocrite, this is where Lucifer deceived the whole world. The Gentiles or the pagans or those who worship false gods do not come from the God who isn't a hypocrite, or else they wouldn't need the salvation in the first place. This is how he's fooled the whole world. If you coming from the hypocritical gods, you cannot teach people how to not to be a hypocrite. This is why they created Paul. And they lied about what Paul said. Paul never said these things. Saula. It means, like, thanks to the brother who said, it means one who interprets. That's why his job was to be an interpreter. They have modified these scriptures for a reason. So then they say, I don't listen to nobody who don't teach out of the Bible. Okay? Baal has you brainwashed because the Messiah is the scripture. He is the walking word of the Father. So then if his kingdom resides inside of you, then you regurgitate the kingdom. This is the lie. If the kingdom of the Most High walks inside of you, you regurgitate the kingdom and not the poison. Okay? And this is what we're going to get into today as to why I'm going to show you why they want you to believe in this false interpretation of what all colonialism was payback from way back. And it was competition for Gog and Magog. Because at that time, Magog was trying to take over the papacy, and they were fighting each other while they were still fighting amongst themselves. And we're going to talk about the God of a war, the God of a battle, and what that really means. Because they throw it in your face all the time. One second. I'm going to play the song. I don't own the rights to this song. It's for it's not for edification of the channel only, not for my own purposes. Hold on one second. I got to pull it up. So we're going to get into this, and I'm going to show people, this is where, what's going on? Okay. And this is going to show people, like I said, why we're having problems about Kentwadi. And I'm going to show you why we're having problems working together and why we're not understanding when people are using us to create confusion rather than unification. It has to do with people just can't be the only one. The Most High has many servants. And if these servants aren't working together, then they are obviously doing what the devil wants them to do. Because if the concept is, the churches will say, well, why do you think there's so many different church doctrines? Because it's all about creating confusion. We tell people, our Father, if he says he's not the author of confusion, then that means the world should be clear to you, not confusing, not muddy, not none of what the heck's going on. Not just they got you focused too much on your own little world rather than paying attention to the big picture. There's a reason for that. You don't see what's going to hit you upside the head. You're focused too much on what your daughters and children are doing, what your own family's doing, and what's happening to your life. You're not seeing what's happening around you. That's having an impact on the same things that you're spreading a false doctrine. That's why you said, why do you have to have so many buildings that are talking about God? Why? Why are there so many buildings talking about the same God? And yet, the world is sitting worse, not better, worse. It's not improving, it's degrading. Why is that? Everybody's running around getting ready to celebrate this holiday that they themselves don't even know where it comes from. But they just took the word of a person who they believe they trust, and this person is paid to deceive them. The majority of the people that you are interacting with, their job is to lie to you, but tell you that they're not lying to you. So they're going to always speak with the forked tongue. Because when you work for the hypocrite, you can't tell people you do work for the hypocrite. So they got to play the role. Okay? And they know, I told people, and I've been saying this to people, this is all about self-preservation and keeping people from judging who is supposed to be the judges. Okay? All praises. Okay. We're going to read, I'm going to show you a a post from this brother, and I follow him on Twitter, and it's some good information, and this is going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? When you oh man, did it reset? Dang it. Hold on. Okay, good, it's there. Because sometimes it'll go back. So he talks about the Democratic Republic of Congo. He says the DRC is the world's richest country with regards to mineral resources. It has an estimated $23 trillion worth of mineral deposits still untapped. If properly utilized, DRC would be both the largest and network exporter of natural resources and net finished goods in the world. Congo DRC is the world's largest producer of cobalt. It accounts for nearly 60% of the world's cobalt production. Unfortunately, it is exported to make engines for cars, planes, ceramic, and batteries for electrical appliances. DRC accounts for 80% of the world's coltan production. This is the use to produce phones, laptops, and accessories for top companies at the expense of child labor. DRC has a large uranium deposit. In fact, the atomic bombs for the World War II had their mineral resources sought from the DRC, and it produced 80% of and it produced 80% of America's nuclear weapons. 80%. Okay. DRC has the world's second largest diamond reserves and is the third diamond producing country after Russia and Botswana. Circle Botswana. Because as a brother and I, we were talking about this. The DRC is one of the world's largest gold producers. It accounts for a majority of the gold smuggled out of Africa through Tanzania, Rwanda, Uganda to Dubai, and its artisanal gold is one of the most sought after gold. The DRC is the richest, is so rich that so many rich claim that one can dig out minerals with his bare hands. The DR Congo is ranked the 80th largest oil producer, over 4.1 of its oil reserves per annum. The Congo rainforest is home to 600 tree species, 10,000 animals. Some of the most famous residents include forest elephants, gorillas, chimpanzees, okapi, leopards, hippos, and lions. Congo is the top wood exporting. It says top wood exporting country. Also, the Congo Basin is home to the largest mineral deposit in the world, having wood, oil, diamonds, gold, and coltan. The Congo DR is a network of entertainment, with music being one of its largest export mostly in the 90s. Um, the Congo DRC can produce 40 ground width of power, gigawatts. The DRC can produce 40 gigawatts of power, or gigawatts, they say gigawatts, whatever. Okay. Now, with that being said, we're just now talking about the DRC. We haven't even touched Angola. We haven't even touched the Republic of the Congo and Brazzaville. We haven't touched Gabon. We haven't touched any of Zambia. We haven't even got to the rest of these other countries. Okay, that's just Congo. Okay? Now, here's what you got to understand as to why it is so important that the world stays asleep to the truth. Why? Because when you look at how much is worth the minerals, the worth of the minerals, the worth of everything, and now you apply this to the people who were set apart from all the other nations. When he says, I have made you a what? A priesthood unto myself. Okay? He has said, you will be the blessing if you are in uprightness, and then others will be the curse. Okay? When we talk about the Deuteronomy scriptures, when we talk about all of these things, when we talk about why they take stuff out of the Bible, the scriptures, the book of Jasher, Jubilee, all this stuff, why do you think they want you running up to the area they now call Palestine? Okay? If you actually, we can even Google it and say, how much minerals do you find in Israel? Watch this. Okay, so what are the major nature of Israel? Okay, so now when we get into this, the Most High, all right, flowers, fish, okay, what does it have? It got fish, it got flowers, it got some fruits, it got Arab land, it has beautiful scenery and economy. Oh, wait a minute. But, okay, Israel's natural resources, facts and truth. Watch this. They're going to get into it, people. Watch what it's going to say. Israel is a country rich in natural resources despite its relatively small size from the Dead Sea. Diverse landscape provides a wide range of natural resources that have been utilized for centuries. Okay? All right. So Africa, it says, the country's strategic location of Europe and Africa also consider rich. Okay, watch this. The strategic location of the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa also contributed to its rich natural resources, making it a hub for trade, commerce, or explorer. Okay. Israel's natural resources have played a crucial role in shaping the country's economy. Wait a minute. All right. What does it say again? It got the riches of the minerals from the Dead Sea. All right. It got the harnessing the solar energy. It has abundant resources, water resources, so they say, even though you got way more water in Africa, but we ain't gonna go there. Fertile agricultural land. Fertile. Then how come they always showing pictures of the desert? Okay, whatever. We ain't gonna go there. Fishing. Okay, fishing. Now, what's missing from this picture? Where's the silver? Where's the gold? Where's all the oil? Where's all the cobalt and the other? Where's all the other stuff that they're using to manufacture? Where's that at? Where is the tropical vegetables and fruits that make up the actual chemical pharmaceutical company? Where's that at? Where's all of these resources that are actually more naturally grown among the precious stones? Okay, where is that at? Okay, if you go to what the Most High told Solomon, that Tanzami told Solomon, he said your wealth would be overflowing to where it has no end because you sought what? Knowledge of the truth rather than you ask me for riches. What did I just read about the Congo? The resources don't run out. So then why do you have a system built on scarcity? Gold doesn't run out, silver doesn't run out. They're trying to tell you oil or fossil fuel, but now that story's now starting to fall apart. When the guy came out and did a video saying oil reserves, they had to come up with something to tell people that the oil, they said even what they dig for the oil is deeper than what they claim in the fossil beds or whatever is located. That the oil reserves are in abundance, but yet they'll hear them keep telling you, we're running out of oil here, we got to tap in it. What is the deal? Okay? Because the harsh reality is this. If it's in abundance, then you cannot claim to make wealth off of it. Then everybody must share in the abundance, like the Father determined for his people when he was teaching. I have everything in abundance. The scriptures are very clear on that. My land is flowing and overflowing. They literally make people think milk and honey. That is not, man, he's trying to tell you, my land is rich beyond measure. No one can compare to the land that I have given you. Okay? They're just talking about minerals. Where's the rest? Okay? Where's the rest of this? So now, when we go to um, the whole deception, who wants the minerals? When they say colonization, when they say whites, when they say whatever, when they say Europe, who is that? All you got to do is look at what sits in the middle of Washington, D.C. to realize you are being played. What does that stand for? Is the symbolic of the West and colonization, but is also the symbol in the East. Like I told people, you got an obelisk in Argentina, you got an obelisk in Brazil. You got an obelisk in China. You got obelisks everywhere. So who is colonization and who is about the wealth and the minerals? Are they not the Egyptian gods? And what are they in comparison to the Father, if not the opposite of his kingdom? Okay? This is the significance as to why it is dangerous for someone to come and open people's eyes to what you serve. Because who is the thief? Lucifer. Who is not the thief? The God of Abana, Saka, Yakubi, they want to say Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whatever. Okay, he is not the thief of his own land. Okay, so then if you are living in a system that is built on taking, okay, then what God do you serve? This is the line. What God do you serve? Okay, when we talk about a system based on the Father, he is a giver. He is not a taker when it comes to what he needs as a creator. He said, I don't need to take anything from the devil. I got it. I have all I need. Okay? So now it's very significant as to how do you destroy the mindset of how people think is to provide a narrative that is false. When you go and you say, for we do not battle against principalities, and of course they took out the part about the leaders for a reason. Because who do the leaders work for? If not the Egyptian gods? Mystery Babylon. What is Babylon? Babylon is Egypt. What is Egypt? Egypt is Nimrod. What is Nimrod? Nimrod is Lucifer. Okay? This is the concept of where you don't get to think. And if you start getting people to think, this is where you start to understand I'm living in a lie. So now, how has the devil turned his lie into a huge success is to take his kingdom and pit one against the other in the form of countries when the Bible specifically says what his kingdom is. And then it specifically tells you what the Father's kingdom is. Specifics. So now when you go to understand why it's important to change the narrative from those who were on the bottom who become the top, and those who are on the top become the bottom. The thief must tell a lie to validate the fact that you are being robbed without even knowing it. So if you're too busy to know that you're being robbed, you're going to defend the thief. And then, of course, what he did is he got you to defend the thief. Okay? In so many different ways, whether white, black, the race thing was intentional. The colonial thing is also part of the hook. You gotta have the hook. This guy was talking about when he was saying that they were forming the Hebrew Israelites, and he said, "Man, you know that's not right." Yeah, brother, but that's part of the hook. What is the hook? The one who lost his hand, right? How many people even know about that? So it's always about the one who lost his hand that's going to put you on the hook. Because every single version of what has been taught around this world has to do with the one that has a hook for a hand. But he is still affiliated with all of these false gods. So then now, if you are a beneficiary of the thief, then of course, if you're working for him and you want to expose him, you got a problem with the people who are defending him. Okay? And this is significant. That's why even with this thing right here, okay, another thief, the thief deception. Why do they got to promote these things? Because if you know that there's a firmament, then it validates there is a God. But then at the same time, what God created the firmament? This is where you got to tell people, oh, the God who's a hypocrite, the God is not a hypocrite. He formed the firmament. Okay, then why are you doing hypocrite celebrations? Why are you doing hypocritical things? Okay? What is the significance of that? Because those who are at war with the Most High's kingdom want you to not recognize that you are fighting for the hypocrite. This is the war. The war is the one who isn't a hypocrite versus the one who is. When they say they shall make war against the Lamb and he shall overcome them, what does that mean? The war is from the gods or the side of the hypocrites versus the God who comes from the side of the God who is not a hypocrite. So then this is where your concept of stopping people from learning that usury and the system of lending and the system of all these things that you're doing with debt is false for the beneficiary of the thief. So the way you control people with a narrative is you put them in the deficit. Because the true God of creation, he doesn't put people in a deficit. He puts you in a surplus. This is how they got you. In abundance means you have a surplus. This is they use the Bible to create economics. You're gonna find this out. They use the scripture, the Torah, we call it Tula. They use the Tula to create economics. Okay? That's why it was important to take the Most High's word and twist it for the benefit of those who are thieves and robbers, but pretended they're not. And they've been doing this for a very long time. This is why now you got to create an educational system of knowledge that helps the thief continue to remain in twisting their objective against the one they can't stand. Okay? So now to expose the fact that people are getting worthless knowledge at school, that makes a threat to you, the people who are what? Benefiting from the fact that they are stealing from the Most High. So now you say, well, they made all of this sports and all these other things to do what? To distract you from being a robber, and they made it look good. Because the whole concept is if you shame the one who is not a hypocrite, okay, then it makes it hard to expose the one that is. Okay? And this is the game. So it's like when people talk about healthcare and getting better and education and raising their children, I try to tell people, you're going to get angry with me, and this is what Saola meant. You're going to get angry with me because I tell you the truth. You're raising your children to be a hypocrite because I am a victim of this for those who know who we are and are dangerous to them. That is the significant because when it says you shall judge angels, how do you judge angels if you are raised to be a hypocrite. This is the deception of how they twisted it. Nobody can judge anyone if they are living hypocritically. Even me, okay? And that's why it's important. But then, as they know, when the Father says, I remember your sins no more, you then become the person. If he remembers your sins no more, you now can judge the angels. You now can bring judgment upon this world when you are no longer a hypocrite. So that is why it is important to hide who he is talking about in Revelation 3 and 9 directly. So now let me explain it to you. When we go, and this is what Simon Toko and Kimbangu and many others were talking about, okay? We're going to talk about, first of all, the book of Enoch and what he says. Sorry, gotta find. I'm going to show you why they have to control what people teach, how people act. Okay, because the word we're going to use and we're going to go to the Congo is hypocrite. Okay, Yaluvunu, Umpembe. Okay, so now, Kansi Sambu Yisu, we didn't say no Jesus, it's Yisu Zabaka, Mabanza na Moyambi, Yambi, Yambe. Okay, that's what they want to say. It means evil, but it doesn't. Yambi. Okay. Yandi Tubaka Nde, Beno Buntu, Yaluvunu Sambu Nanki. Beno Inki means what? That they put the extra I in there. Beno Ke Make Mono, Meka Mono. But Yiswa, knowing the wickedness, said, why do you put me to the test, hypocrites? Okay? So then he says, and this is what he would have really said. Woe to you, scribe, Pharisees, and hypocrites. Mawa na beno, ben sekudi, and p, bafarize, buntu ya luvunu. Now, Jesus called the religious leaders of the day hypocrites and said to them, Isaiah aptly prophesied about you. This is why they call him Isaiah. Okay? That these people honor me with their lips, yet their heart is removed far from me. Yesu kubinkaka bamfumu ya mundu ya bilumbu na yandi ende bantu ya luvunu mpi yandi sangaku bonde Yesaya, see Yesaya. You know, there was a song that somebody sang back in the day when we had the people in the awakening earlier. Okay, Yesaya, because they're both one and the same. Remember, if you know what the name Yesaya means, it means one who saves. So they had the same name. Okay, so Fumu Yusu, Yeshua, and Yesaya had the same name. And they don't understand this. Like Yosua, Tubaka Mambu, ya Kialeka Ntangu Yandi Tubaka, na Ntwala Sambu na Benonde, Nzambi, ke Tubaka Nde, Bantu Yai, ke Sidisaka Monokaka, na Munoko Kanzi na Ntimave. Okay? Why is this significant to the concept of identity? If you are a hypocrite when it comes to your interpretation of the Father, meaning you teach people to do an opposite, okay? It means you speak about me, but where is your heart? So this is why we're now living in a world that we're fighting, that you think your heart is with the one who isn't the hypocrite when your heart is with the one that is. So now, when it talks about the scriptures, it says, be ye not equally yoked with an unbeliever. What is it really talking about? This is what we're going to catch the thief of what they stole, like Kimbangu said. Okay? That means, are you following the Most High that's a hypocrite? Or are you following the Most High who wasn't a hypocrite? Because if it's the Most High who's a hypocrite, then he cannot be the Most High. That's the creation. Okay? So if you're following a God that says, I can do both the Most High's way and Roman, which is what they did, you can do the pagan and the non-pagan together, then you are following hypocrisy. Automatically, you go to the pit of Apollyon. If this is your shepherd. Okay? If you are following the shepherd of hypocrisy that takes the scripture and teaches you to do the opposite of what it says, then now you are following the blind, leading the blind into the pit. So now you think you go to the church instead of being the church all the time. You think you know God when you know the hypocrite. Okay? And this is the concept that people don't get. You cannot know the Father and love the hypocrite. So the way that the world has been deceived by Lucifer is you love the hypocrite and you hate the one who isn't the hypocrite. And that's why it says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. Okay, what does that really mean? It means, do you know who the God is that isn't the hypocrite versus the God who is? So now, when you want to serve the God that is not the hypocrite, once you understand the difference, this is why the world will now become your enemy and your people will turn against you. Because you're living in the world that is built. The world means if I'm leaving the world, it means I'm leaving the God of the hypocrisy to the God who isn't a hypocrite. How can you do that if you still are living in hypocrisy? This is where they got you, and they're making money off the lie. That's why people are in debt with usury. That's why people are paying for things that they are free. That's why people are living in a world that they don't even know what the heck's going on. Why? Because in order to function at a higher level, we, and I do mean we, have to always understand we must go and be about the Father's business that is not the hypocrite. Okay? This is where the enemy has to now use the hypocrites against you to keep you from exposing his hypocrisy. So what is colonialism? What is religion? What is anything that you have been taught in this world? Okay, what is the concept of the God of destruction? The God that brings the God that seeks to kill, maim, and destroy is the God of hypocrisy. So now when you look at Christianity, let's do the body count. How many people they killed in the name of Jesus? When we look at Islam, how many people have been killed in the name of Allah? We look at Judaism. How many people have been killed in the name of the God of Judaism? Okay? So now you got to understand is our Father says, if you choose the hypocrite, this is why now you are living under the God of death. And these things will now come upon you, like it says in Romans. Okay, why does he say, I give you over, if you want to worship the hypocrite, I give you over to the desires of your heart. What are the desires of your heart? Whatever you think you want to do. You want to become gay, you become gay. You want to become whatever it is that you want to be, but you're doing everything but what the Father wants. Why? And so in that regard, now when it comes to his children that he is jealous over, they made you jealous. They made you think the hypocrites, the God, the people who come from the hypocritical God is who he's jealous over. It's like, no, I am not jealous over Edom. I am not jealous over Ashkenaz. I am not jealous over Amalek. I am not jealous over the Canaanites. I am not jealous over Kittim. I am not jealous over any of these other people. My jealousy is for the Banabetu of Isolele. So now, Polly want a cracker, you're a parrot, repeat after me all the time. He says, my people, I am jealous over the Christians. How can I be jealous over pagans who are teaching another Messiah that did not walk? How? How can I be jealous over Ishmael and the Arabs who are out here being a wild ass, just like I said? How can I be jealous over Edom that says the Messiah did not come yet? Okay? So the spiritual Israel doctrine is part of the way the devil deceived the whole world, because the Father cannot be jealous over people who are walking in hypocrisy. No way. Backwards, loving the dog vomit. So this is why now you have an educational system and a religious system that are both what? Hypocrites. You got teachers teaching hypocrisy, and you got pastors teaching hypocrisy. So then now when you call them out on it, you're the hypocrite. How can that be? If I'm teaching the God who is not a hypocrite, now you understand the days of Noah. Did I say I didn't commit any sin against the Father? No, I did not. Okay? But it's not me, it's the one who sent me. I was sent, we were sent, those who are the true followers of the Father, if we are here to teach the God who is not the hypocrite, then why would he turn his back on you? This is the refiner in the fuller's soap. When he's refining you, he's getting you better each time. But now, when you affiliate yourself with hypocrites, and this is what he's talking about, and they said, but he goes and he does with sinners. And I said, yeah, he was among the people doing bad things, but he was not participating in the bad things. He knew how not to offend the Father. That's why he said, what sin can you accuse me of, when they said he was doing blasphemy? What are you talking about? How did I commit blasphemy when I know that I am doing my Father's work? So now he has given me the authority to be a judge, to forgive sins, to make the blind see, make the lame walk. So in their payback, and this is what happened when Tatanzambi turned down the building, they wanted to make you worship the hypocrite in defiance of the Most High's judgments. Okay? So now, when it comes to what Toko and Kimbangu and others were saying, the world is deceived when he said, if you're worshiping Nimrod, if you are worshiping Cain, when you go the way of Cain, it means that you are the hypocrite. But now they have convinced you with this whole thing about the law done away with, whatever. Oh, the Messiah is the day of rest. Fine. If the Messiah is the day of rest, then why is he changing things to be a hypocrite? It's not possible. He said, I did not come to be a hypocrite. I came to defeat the hypocrite, which means I didn't change the Father's law. I came to fulfill the law of the one who wasn't a hypocrite and to destroy the deception of the one who is. That's why for you to learn from people who they themselves were trained to teach you as a hypocrite, why they are dangerous, because now they literally have you being devoured by the false gods yet again, and they're covering it up. Because these guys eat things, okay? That's what they do. Lucifer eats flesh. He eats people. He eats whatever, okay? But we must keep this under wraps. No, because if you now know I am worshiping the God of Sodom and Gomorrah, then wait, what's going on behind these scenes with these Sodomites? What do they do? What are they up to? What's really going on? Hey. See, that's what this awakening has done for those of us who were sealed to know how the hypocritical God is versus the one isn't. Because now this is what's changing the world. You see, the concept is when you are not the hypocrite, you can control the people who are. So what happened with Kennedy was all Simon Toko and Kimbangu. You control them, they don't control you. Okay? Now when you do the things, and that's why in America, they have put things in place, like he says, you have tolerated that woman Jezebel that what feeds my children to become hypocrites, defile food. But at the same time, when we talk about the craftiness of the enemy is what? To also return evil for evil as well. This is significant. Okay? So now, why are parents struggling with children? Why are parents not understanding what's going on with their families? Why are we dealing with so much things happening in the communities that people are talking about? Because that's the problem. You will have your leaders, your pastors, your teachers, everyone in this world right now is not understanding, and they don't want to believe you, but you're serving the interests of the God who's a hypocrite, not the one who isn't. That's the days of Noah. That's the days of Noah. That's the way it worked. Okay? So then those who don't see the hypocrisy of the God they serve will always want to point the finger at you as the idiot. So the Christians say, we don't serve the God of hypocrisy. Yeah, you do. We can prove it. The Muslims will say, we don't serve the God of hypocrisy. Yeah, you do. We can prove it. Okay, the Judaism says we don't serve the God of hypocrisy. Yeah, you do. Okay, any of these all religions, the Buddhists will say we don't serve the God of hypocrisy. Yeah, you do. We can prove it. Okay, the Hindus and we can say the Kemetis will say we don't serve the God of hypocrisy. Yeah, you do, and we can prove it. Okay, color has nothing to do with it. This is the deception. The problem is now that you learn that the Messiah, who was not a hypocrite, actually is melanated. That's the problem. Because now he serves the God. If you now find out the God who is not a hypocrite is melanated, that is the problem. Because now the people who don't look like that, now they see we are the hypocrite. Our God is the hypocrite. Okay? So when Rome takes the image of Nimrod, who himself was dark, became white. See, then you tell people, no, the sin of leprosy was because of your hypocrisy. So you went from black to white. Okay, we don't want to believe that because now we have to call ourselves hypocrites and we are the curse. Correct. But it has nothing to do with color. It has to do with what God do you serve? Because there are black gods that are hypocrites. Okay? This is what people going to find out. The Anunnaki are hypocrites. The Nephilim and the Watchers, they're all hypocrites. The Mermaid Kingdom, they're all hypocrites. So now, that's why Messiah said, how can I cast out demons in the name of the God who's a hypocrite? Saying a hypocrite can't cast out a hypocrite. Okay? The God of hypocrisy cannot cast out the God of hypocrisy. Only the God who is not a hypocrite can cast out the God of hypocrisy. And then that spirit, the Holy Spirit, is not the Holy Spirit of hypocrisy, will then manifest. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to grieve the spirit that is not a hypocrite. And they want everyone in this world to say, well, then now, if everybody is now worshiping the hypocrite, then we keep the inheritance because there's no one worthy of it. Because we're all hypocrites. Ha ha. Oh, do they not understand how deceived they are? This is the deception. Because see, the Messiah says, those who are chosen of me are not hypocrites. They will not be hypocrites. Because why? If you teach my people to be a hypocrite, there's the problem. I cannot hold them accountable at that age of my people if you chose them to be a hypocrite. Okay? Now, if they learn about the hypocrisy and they're trying to get out of it, or they don't want to get out of it, that's on them now. If you say you serve the hypocrite, no, I don't, and I want to get out of it, now that's on them. Okay? That's right, that right there. That's on them. But at that point, there is where the Father has said, you were not meant, and that's why they took second Ezra. Those who are born to perish are those who never leave the hypocrite. So the fight with the Most High and the fight with Lucifer, the Star Wars, what they're covering up, is the star who's not the hypocrite versus the star that is. Okay. And this is what they portraying all the time in the movies and in the world. And so now you go and you listen to the news that comes from the hypocrite. Now you go and and you read the books that come from the hypocrite. Now you go and you learn the truth from the God that's a hypocrite. So then in that regards, you now stay blind. So now what's getting ready to happen with all these drones and people freaking out and all this other stuff? No, your hypocritical gods are now going to expose themselves because they fooled you. Okay? And this is what's happening. So now you worshiping the hypocrite, now you're going to belong to the hypocrite. And those of us who are trying to get away from the hypocrite, we're going to get away from him. That's why he said, I'm going to put shepherds now above you that keep you away from the hypocrite, not send you to the hypocrite. This is the whole concept that will stand there, even with whatever they're being done to them, they will not lead the sheep to the hypocrite no matter what. Even if they say the name of the hypocrite, because that's the problem, okay? But now you have people with a heart of a ravening wolf that they use the God who isn't a hypocrite to now make you bow down to hypocrites. This is the deception. This person says, I am so and so, and they are a hypocrite. No, you're a hypocrite. This person says, I am so and so. No, you're a hypocrite. Because why? You have taken an oath to the hypocrite. I'm not going to trust this. Because what did he try to tell me? You serve the God who isn't the hypocrite when you do. And then you're going to try to tell me I don't serve the God who is a hypocrite when I don't. Who isn't, who is a hypocrite when I don't serve the God who's a hypocrite. Okay? How do I know? Because the hypocrite is the one that needs to bribe you to believe that they are not the hypocrite. I don't need to bribe anybody. What am I bribing? What does it profit me to lie to you about what God you need to serve versus the one that you shouldn't? If I'm taking you to the God that really does give you power to manifest, to control the world and not be controlled by the world, then what is the problem? The problem is the people who want to control you, who don't want you to think for yourself, who don't want you to understand that the only one that never did anything to be controlled by this world is Masinisi from Yusukusu Congo. That is the opposite of these Anunnaki false gods or these demons or whatever, or these false angels. Okay? And that's what we're dealing with. All right? So now, like it says, I thought I pulled up. Didn't I pull up? So now, to prove my point, okay? This is an Egyptian god of war. All right? How do you say his name? Anhur. Anhur. Honor is down there where they're spelling it. There you go. You don't get it. The way it really should be said is Lukumu. So I give Lukumu to all of those. But see the way they had you calling on an Egyptian god in the process when you say it. All right? Now people say, well, Muntu and Montu. Yeah, I said, no, Montu can be, it depends on the spirit you're under. Montu is in fact a god of war of Egypt. And this is where people get confused. I'm like, no, we're not the god of war of Egypt. We're Muntu means we're the top. Okay? So now you got some people saying, I'm Muntu. No, they're still this god. Okay? You ever had a mint? Mint? M-E-N-T? Montu? The god of war. Okay? Falcon god of war, ancient Egypt, the embodiment of conquering vitality of Pharaoh. So let's tell me this. So I work for Lucifer, but I'm showing you the god of war of Egypt. And you think that I'm being bribed by him to take people from the God of truth. When it comes to the fact that, what am I charging? What am I charging? What's in my pockets? Do I have 30 pieces of silver? Okay. How does it work? Am I have my 300 pieces of talents of silver to take people away from Tatanzambi, the true God of creation? Okay. What is it? What does it profit me? That's why he said, it doesn't profit me for the day of rest. It doesn't. I mean, the day of destruction. What does it profit me? It doesn't. Okay. It profits the Most High, but not me. Okay. It would be doom and gloom and all that stuff. So you don't desire something that's meant to profit the Father and not you. This is the difference between working in truth and working in a lie. Okay? So now, are we tired of it? Of course we're tired of the deception. But the reality is, when we talk about the whole thing about turn the other cheek and all this other stuff, and I know there was a Jewish guy and he was not telling a lie. He said, when have Christians ever turned the other cheek? They're killing people out left and right. I said, yeah, but so are they. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Because the reality is, let me explain to you who he was talking to when he said to turn the other cheek. The children of Abana and Saka and Yacobi, Isaiah, the family, the Wakanda. He said, if we learn to love each other as Banabetu of Isolele and not return evil for evil against those of us who are of the covenant, then the world will see the example and know how to live. Okay? And then they will follow that righteous path and reject those who do not. He did not say accept them. He even said so. This is how you know Christians are liars. He told his disciples themselves, if you go into their house and they do not receive it, you leave them there. You let them be. And he says, anyone who rejects me now, Sodom and Gomorrah will be your gods. Worse than so. Now does it make sense why parents don't even know the amount of sodomy and the amount of debauchery and the amount of deception that went with the rich and the powerful that have blinded you, that you don't have the peace of the true God? Because you can still have ignorance and have peace if you choose not to worry yourself about things that don't concern you. But see, the Father said, but that's the problem. I don't worry about my things that don't concern me. What should concern you are his children. Always. This is why we're here. This is what I'm preaching. You should always be concerned. And then said the problem is, but you have been taught to be concerned about Esau splitting himself in two different ways. What are you talking about? You're concerning yourself with Esau, and you're not even focusing on Jacob. This is the way the devil has deceived the world. Okay? So now to prove my point, we're looking at Angola, right? Okay? You see this country. We know it's called the dispersed one is what it meant. We know about the kingdom of Congo de Totala, the kingdom of Congo de Totala, whether you want to believe it or not, was the kingdom that was meant to be the kingdom of the God who wasn't the hypocrites, because Rome and the seven churches, what messed them up? They were serving the God who was the hypocrite. Who is the God that is a hypocrite? Baal. So now when you take what Rome did and the followers and the early Christians that turned against the people of the way, because Christianos is hypocrisy. Christianos was the worship of the god Zeus. So now the pagan takes their hypocritical word to say we follow Christ. No, if you're a Christian, you're following the hypocrite. The people of the way were not following the hypocrite, because you cannot be in the way following the hypocrite. Is what they're not understanding. You cannot be in Zila Congo Bantwe, in Zila Nzambi Pantwe, if you are teaching the hypocrite. Okay? So the way the world has been deceived is that when Simon the sorcerer turned himself into the Messiah, you now promote the hypocrite. When you weeping for Tammuz, you are worth the hypocrite. That's why you don't see that your days of the week are named after hypocritical gods. And you're teaching your people how to worship and praise and learn hypocritical gods. The science that you now learn in the school comes from the hypocritical God. But then so does the Bible. No, it does not. It's the word of the hypocritical God, because he took the one that is not a hypocrite and he changed it. They said, well, the devil can't change the Most High's word. No, he can't. But he can give you the interpretation of it. This is the deception. The original text, the original word is not changed. But you don't have it. That's the problem. They didn't give it to you. Okay? The original scriptures, the original stuff is not changed, but they didn't give it to you. This is the problem. Okay? They didn't give it to you. They gave you the hypocrite stuff. So now, how do you fix that? You have to find a God who is not a hypocrite that teaches you the difference. That was the way when he says, you cut off access to the kingdom. So now Lucifer's lying signs and wonders are all over the place. And you're saying it's the Most High. Just like what happened in the days of Noah, this what happened in Babylon, what happened in Persia, what happened with Native Americans, what happened in China, what happened in South America, what happened in all these places. He is doing his lying signs and wonders. He laying low to Gentiles, like the scriptures really say that they mock, that they store from us. Okay? And they're teaching you our Father backwards and the Messiah backwards. But then if you say, well, you're wrong, I can prove it. Why would he change the months and years and weeks to false gods? Why would he do that? If he's not a hypocrite, if he don't change, why would he tell you to worship a day that himself knows it's the wrong day? And they have had many scholars say, according to the scriptures, we can prove it's the wrong day. But so why are we still celebrating it? Because it's for the benefit of those that are being robbed. They don't give a damn about everybody else. It's the ones who are being robbed that's the problem. So then now you have to put people in place that their role is to maintain this highway robbery. So you see, like when it talks about what happened in Angola, 1960. Oh, wow. Okay. What happened there? We know Toko brought down the Holy Spirit. The angels came and they fought the Belgians. Of course, the liar want to say it wasn't the Most High because he got beat down and got embarrassed with the Belgians. So they don't want you to know that, right? So then you come in here and you got the Congo. Remember I said it's the richest place ever? So if you're a thief, your job is to put the people in place that keep you robbing the place and getting your cut. And then setting up court systems of hypocrisy that rob the robbers. That's why uh, when they want to get by Marty, what did he say? You cannot possibly think that you can function in a world where the criminals make the laws. That's the reason why they killed him. Because he said, but you work for the criminals. What are you talking about? You're one of us. Okay? When you're not one of them, okay, they know, well, what can we do to this guy? He's not one of us. He comes from Abana and Saka Yokubi. He's the bloodline, and he's telling the truth. What can we do about it? Where's the lie? See, love of the true Father exposes the hate because Lucifer, this world does not love you. If they would love you, they won't lie to you. What's the point? If your leaders loved you, why do they lie? If your pastors love you, why do they lie? If your doctors love you, why do they lie? If your parents love you, okay, which I know many of them do, why do they then not? It's like, well, you know, if you're telling me I'm teaching my children to lie, then I'm going to figure out what, okay, I'm going to fix that. This is the whole concept. But see, if you think in your mind, I was not teaching my children how to be liars, okay, then the father's going to say, well, I'm going to point it out to you. You are following the liar. And if you don't, this is what this whole time period was for. We're trying to tell you, you're following the liar. If you don't want to believe me, now it's not on me. That's what the whole point of a watchman is. See, they never wanted me to tell me how to say, no, we want to stop this guy. I kept saying to people, man, when I was a teenager, man, something isn't right. I think I'm being bamboozled. No, I just go along with it. In my 20s, 30s, man, you know, I wanted to be certain things, but then it's like, now I found out why the father did what he did. He said, no, you are conditioned to fight for the liar who's acting like he's not. In all of these militaries, not just America, all of them, okay? My military is invincible when you don't fight with the liar. And you don't even have to suit up. So the God of war is the hypocrite. Okay? So now when you talk about Mars and all these other things, you're calling out Julius Caesar hypocrite. So see, when the Sanhedrin said, we have no God but Caesar, that was a slap in the Most High's face because he said, wait a minute, you have your God is the hypocrite? Okay? But the problem was that's because they came from the country of the hypocrites, the Greeks and the Phoenicians and all that. Okay? That's why the Messiah was saying, hey, you brought hypocrites into the Father's house and they're robbing it. This is on you, Banabe Tuvisolele. You brought a king in here, King Herod, who's a hypocrite. Why do you think you want to kill this guy? He wouldn't want to kill Masindaci. Okay? What was the problem that took place within Tinu Salama? Why did he want to kill Davidi? He said, I cannot use you anymore because you have become Lucifer as a hypocrite. He couldn't stand that. No, I got to kill Davidi. And then he went to the oracle that he kicked out. And that's why I was trying to tell people, if your church, if your pastors, If all of your leaders are serving the God that's not as a hypocrite, you would boot out the people who are. You would boot them out. Okay? Every last one of them, you would boot them out. Okay, no. You work for the hypocrite, get out of here. No. You witch, you sorcery, you kindoki, and that's why do they not, why do they want to control, like the people here in Cameroon had two people in their entire thing, two people, okay? But yet, why is poverty running rampant in many people? Do they have wealth there? Is Africa completely poor? No. There are cities that are wonderful. There are cities that are thin, but who built those cities? The God of the hypocrisy or the God of not hypocrisy? See, our Father is not going to teach you to build stuff that's going to make you look like a hypocrite to him. So then when the scripture says they the cornerstone that the builders rejected, what does that mean? It means they accepted the hypocrite and they rejected the one who wasn't. Okay? How do you know this? Because now the whole world is living in its own hypocrisy. For everything that's good, they do the bad. So people talk about, oh, but they save animals. Yeah, but then they kill an animal too. Oh, they save people. Oh, boy, but then they kill a person too. And then they blame it on somebody else. Or they lie for their own people. Okay? Why is that significant? Because now when you break it down to the nuts and bolts, the world should be run by the God who is not the hypocrite, and the one that isn't shouldn't be running it. But when the Bible says he turned the world over to the hands of the wicked, he said, I turned the world over to the hands of the hypocrite and turned my back. Okay. But see, the reality is he reserved those who would always be under the one who's not a hypocrite. And this is the concept. What was the story of Massa in Egypt? Wait, you have me under the hypocrite, making me do things against my father and all this time, and that's why he got mad. And that's the concept. As the Banabetu of Isolele, okay, we now understand, wait a minute, if the sub-Saharan Africa is indeed the land of the promise, then you have us doing things against our father. Who is responsible for this? And what God do we serve? But if you come from the people who their bloodline is the hypocrites, then of course they're going to get mad. But if you come from the bloodline of the people who want the hypocrites, they can't do nothing to you. They want people to stay away from that guy. Yeah, don't talk to him. Okay? But at the same time, you don't believe anything that comes from the hypocritical gods tricking you. That everything is going to be all right when you believe this. No, you eat the meat, you spit out the bones. Okay? So now, when people look at how you work, they say, well, you ain't making any money. How does it? I said, that's why Toko said, you don't know what work is. Work means whatever the non-hypocritical God tells you to do, he will pay you. But the role for these people is, but we want to make you mess up and be a stumbling block so you can't say that you can judge us because you are a hypocrite too. This is the whole concept of when they want to give you things and ingest you with things and put things into you and mess you up and lie about it. Oh, no, we didn't do that. Yeah, no, and they're admitting it. Okay? Are we going to override your ability to follow the law, statutes, and commandments? Look how crazy they look. Look how wild they look. That was the whole concept. If you're out of balance, you cannot be. If we make you out of balance, then you cannot be a judge. Okay? And that's where we as a people and as the world has been played. Because you got everybody claiming that my belief is not the belief of the hypocrite when it is. And then you have the leaders claiming to be worshiping in these religions that say, we are Christians, so my God is not a hypocrite. Yes, he is. The Christian God is hypocrisy. The Muslim God is hypocrisy. The God of Judaism is hypocrisy. Why? Because you are going after pagan God religion beliefs. They mix the pagan and the non-pagan together, then you are on the side of the hypocrite. So now, instead of removing demons from your child, you're adding to them. Instead of purging out false gods, you're bringing them in. And they're pretending, just like they did in the days. One is good, one is bad, and they're both bad. That's why the false Messiah said, he will do the things as I do. The real Messiah said he will do the things as I do. But don't go there. What's the denominator? The dead. He cannot raise it. Yeah, they tricked you now with that one. There's a drug that makes your heart go down, and then you come back up. Oh, he was dead. I raised him up. No, they get crafty like this. The people were falling out. He did this trick so many times to people. Okay? And you thought that he raised the dead. No, he did not. If that person is doing this, oh, the authorities will come looking for him. The Sanhedrin, who is this guy? What's going on? Who is this guy? Okay? That's why Toko was always under fire. You think now a real Mayamona is going to always be scrutinized. A real Messiah will be scrutinized by who is this guy? How is he doing these things? Where's your power coming from? Who do you serve? Who are you? Because the authority is now questioned of those who don't have it, but tell you that they do. So now, everybody that is following the way of the Masonic order, of how they have taught, and the Jesuits and all these other religions, whatever you have been taught is now going to be exposed for the lie that it is. Because the one who is not a hypocrite is now going to tear things up, and he's doing it right now. It's going to get worse. Because, see, when you follow the right way, then you end the debt. You end the usury. You become the lender, not the borrower. Why do you think these people are getting upset about what's happening now? If you choose to actually be in favor, like I said, the Most High can use anybody, even a donkey. He can use a Muslim, he can use a Christian, he can use anybody. Does that mean that they're chosen? No. Okay? But that's why the people who they work for, why do they want to kill them? But you're on the side of the thief, bruh. You're breaking the code. Well, I decide I'm gonna do what's right anyway. Okay? But that doesn't mean that they are serving the God like you think. You know, and I mean, when they're serving the God, but that does not mean they're coming into his kingdom. Okay? That's why he said, there are those who receive, and then with those who have a place in the kingdom, but you don't sit with the high level people like you think. You don't replace the priesthood and the kings and all that. You don't do it. Okay? And that's why what we're going to learn now today in this time, when he changes the fact that he's going to take away a lot of this mixing that they have done to us. He did it before. Now I'm going to be trying to do a purification as we speak. Because the reality is we are being inundated in this land with negativity, with false doctrines, false devils, false people blind to what they see. They think miracles happen to them and it's automatically the Most High. The voice is like, no, read the Bible carefully. The devil does miracles too. Oh, yeah, all the time. Oh, no, he can't do that. He masquerades as an angel of light. He's doing miracles. Look, see her. Okay, that's what the sorcerer did. So it's very easy to see now why it's so important when we look at these countries and we look at who's in charge of them and we see what's going on. You see all of them come around the 1960s, right? But why? Okay. And see, I'm going to show you the Navy even had this, the future of America. They have these, you think they don't know these things? Okay. And it's like this. Well, when they say Christianity, it's like, no. What they tried to destroy was the people of the way. The Christians were the ones doing the destroying. Okay, this is the deception. See, because it's written by the Catholics. No, they were the ones trying to destroy the people of the way, the Nzila Nzambi Bantwe. And of course, they got all the white images. I said, man, they were all mostly black people. Don't even go there. So you had Nero, okay? He tried to get rid of Kepa and all the things. He's the one that put the sorcerer as the one that people worships. So then his followers are the one that try to finish off the Banabetu Visolele that were doing it in Nzila Nzambi Bantwe under the pagan Christianos deception, mixing our way with theirs. So the historical record is written by the Catholic Church. They are the thief. So they're not going to tell you the truth. Okay? They're robbing the Most High, the Flavian Empire, all of these people. All right? Going all the way down, all these emperors, majority of them, all of these people, you're going all the way down to even 1205, all these people here, they are they are robbing the temple of Tatanzambi and Pungu. See, even when you go down to where you see the 1400s, okay? The 1400s, okay? You look at all of this, okay? Constantine, all of these people were robbing from the Most High, okay? Because the Nzila Nzambi, a Bantwe, is the way that you do not rob the Most High when you're being honest about who you serve. The seat cannot be in the house of Esau. No, the seat has to be in the house of Jacob. Period. End of story. Done. But the people in the house of Jacob must not be robbers and thieves of their own kingdom. That's when he talks about when a man robbed God. He robbed me and this whole nation. So they robbing the whole nation of Congo Yahweh, Tatanzambi and Pungu, the almighty powerful God, because they have you serving the God that's a hypocrite. So when you serve the God as a hypocrite, you are a thief and a robber. When you serve the Messiah that's a hypocrite, you are a thief and a robber. And you're teaching your children to do the same. Okay? And if you don't want to believe me, now you're going to find out And I mean, it's going to be bad when they start pulling up them buses and you're going to find out where you're going. And I said, yeah, I'm telling you right now, they have already switched it. They're going to say, we fooled you. Because now the thief will be exposed for what the thief is. And all of the religions, no matter what, are doing the Saturnalia stuff. And they're being exposed for it. Because the God that Saturn is robbing is Tatanzambi and Pungu, and he is still having you under the deception of usury, of loans, of interest. That's why they don't have Maccabee in there. It's against the rules. Pulling out people's deposits. The stock market is illegal to the Most High. You don't understand this. When Eddie Murphy said, you're a couple of bookies. Yep. That's illegal. Okay? Commodities brokers. What are they selling? You. Okay? But see, that's dangerous to the fact if you stop the commodities brokerage of the Banabeto of Isolele, we are in trouble. If you now find out we were using stocks and bonds like cattle of you, we are in trouble. Yeah, the Most High going to now expose it. All stock markets are selling the kingdom of Congo and Totala around the earth. And that's why they need all of these leaders to be there to illegally sell to the Canaanites who cannot own land. Because all the other nations could have land but them. And they want to get back at the king, at the God who said they could not have land because of what they did. And so now they're teaching us to hate our Father for the preservation of the gods that they know are designed to keep the world into the deception. You die in the matrix, you die in real life. I'm telling you. You die in the carnal world, you die in the spiritual world. That's what he means. Which means that if you think that the God that was a hypocrite is saving you and has forgiven your sins, you fool yourself. Because the Messiah that Rome gave you cannot forgive sins. So you're passing the demons down the line. They're not going anywhere. So now you see why the world's messed up. They don't know you if you don't if you don't have the right kingdom. Only the chosen ones can do the work. And you have been deceived about who they are. All right. Do you want me to read the one script? I thought I pulled it up. Where did it go? I wanted to pull up Enoch, Hanukkah. I thought I pulled it up, but I guess I didn't. All right. So that's why I become the enemy of this world when I'm telling you, you are serving the God of usury and exploitation. And they're exploiting the land of milk and honey and lying about it. Because now, when you actually give it back to the God that actually serves the true God, the truth, then then people come out of debt. That's how it works. You're not in debt anymore, and you're not paying for everything that they're charging you. Okay? You're not dealing with paper. You're dealing with real stuff. All right. I don't know, I must have closed it. The word of the Bilak of Hanoka, his name wasn't Enoch, that was actually the son of Cain. According to which the chosen and the righteous who must be present in the day of distress. Okay, we're in that day. We're in the day of distress. You might as well just get on that. That's why they covered it up. You're in the part of the apocalypse of Abana Abraham, which is appointed for the removal of all the wicked and impious. The wicked and impious are the people who serve the hypocritical God. Okay? The wicked and impious are those who teach the Father's children to break the Father's law, to be stumbling blocks. Okay? Also, those of us who need to break free of this, we need to work on. That's why we have to work on this. Okay? And Enoch took up his parable and said, there was a righteous man whose eyes were opened by the Infumu, and said, a holy vision in the heavens, which the angels showed me. And I said, let me tell you something. I've had the Maliki Congo show me a lot of things. You're going to be shocked. Okay? They've shown me things. Okay? It's like this. And I heard everything from them, and I understood what I saw, but not from this generation, but for the distant generation that will come. Concerning the chosen, and I spoke and uttered a parable concerning them. The Holy One and the Great One will come from out of his place, which means that he will leave the seventh heaven and come down. Okay? And the Eternal One will tread there upon Mount Kenya, Mount Sioni is really what it is. He's going to tread upon Mount Sioni, and that's what um, Toko was saying. He's going to tread on Mount. See, they wanted to go to Mount Sinai. Mount Sinai is Mount Hermon, and they know it. Okay? No, he didn't tread on Mount Hermon. He's going to destroy Mount Hermon. And he will appear with his hosts and will appear with the strength of his power from heaven. So that means all of these will be Maleki Kongo. And all will be afraid, and the watchers will shriek. Who are the watchers? These are these fallen angels you keep calling on in the days of the week that's sitting here. That's what he's shaking right now. They see what's coming. All of these people working with the secret societies, these are the watchers, that they themselves are tricking people that they are not the false gods when they are. And the fear and the great trembling will seize them upon the ends of the earth. Yes, you're gonna be freaking out. That's why they're trying to get rid of all the people they can before this happens. And the high mountains will be shaken, and the high hills will be made low, and will melt like wax. So that means everything's going to be falling into pieces, just like the movie 2012 was showing you. So then you're going to get the ricochet effect from that, and that's why the water's going to be all over the place. And the earth will sink, and everything that's on the earth. Now see, and everything that is on the earth will be destroyed. Let me say that again. Everything that is on this earth will be destroyed. Why? Because it is made by Cain. Reset. This is the real reset. Yeah, and not going to be any more American cities, Canadian cities, Mexican cities, European cities. None of this stuff. African cities themselves are going to have to be reset because they're being built by Cain. And there will be judgment upon all and upon all the righteous. But for the righteous, he will make peace. What is righteousness? Those who do not walk with hypocrisy, including myself. We got to all talk about this. Those who are what? Worshiping the God of that is not hypocrisy. Those who are trying to get the people away from the God of hypocrisy. And will keep them safe, and he will keep safe the chosen, and mercy will be upon them, and they will belong to him, and he will prosper and be blessed, and the light of Tatanzambi will shine upon them, and we know where that's going to go, and that's why they're trying to run interference, and they ran over there, and they started trying to act like, oh yeah, we're going to help Africa get billions of dollars and this and that, because it's going to happen in the land where we came from. They're going to lose everything. The Father going to destroy all of these nations robbing the kingdom of Congo and Totala, okay, which is really the whole earth, which is really the word I said, where the wealthiest minerals are. That's why they want the Banabeto of Isolele, the Bakongo people, to reject their heritage and lineage and keep worshiping the Egyptian god Lai. Everybody was dark and melanated when they came around this earth. That does not mean that they are the chosen people. They are not mean that they're all descendants of Abana. No, it does not mean just because they're black that we're all the same. No. And it doesn't mean just because there's white people, they're going to be white people that get opportunities to have a place. You're going to be shocked. Okay? They will belong to Tatanzambi, and he will prosper and be blessed. And behold, he come with 10,000. This is when they put the one scripture in Jude. It's Yonde. They took the whole thing out and they put this one scripture. Judah. Jude is another person. That's not our ancestor. That's theirs. There was nobody named Jude. That's why they made the song. Hey, Jude, it's a woman. Okay? A goddess, to be by the way. And behold, he come with 10,000 holy ones to execute upon them and destroy the impious and contend with all flesh concerning everything that the sinners and the impious have done and wrought against him. So now you're seeing all this stuff coming out about the pedophile, about the destruction of human flesh, about the rituals that they're doing with animals, people, all this stuff. The exploitation of making money that people are just living it. They're giving you trophies and everything that are more about bribing you because now comes the time to judge the hypocrites. So they want to make sure rather than you standing with us being rather than you judging, you're standing with us being judged. This is the concept. Or if there aren't any more judges, this doesn't happen. Okay, that's why this is the mentality and deception and how the liars played the game. So you sitting here looking for God up there all around wherever, and the kingdom's all around you. Okay? Contemplate all the events in the heaven, how the lights in the sky do not change their course. How the lights in the sky do not change their course. This is why now they had to sell you a deception in the science class. Baloney. How each rises and sets in its order, each in its proper time, and they do not transgress their law. The Most High's, that's why I told people there's a different moon, there's a different sun, there's a different whatever. Okay? They do not transgress the law. Those that do transgress the law, the Most High got prison for them. That's why he said our people had no business turning over to the hypocrites. But there will be a remnant that will be returned. But it's not just we're talking about the remnant being collected, but you got to talk about all the people who came before you that were not hypocrites. There's a lot of them. Okay? Consider the earth and understand from the work that is done upon it, the beginning to the end, that the work of Tatanzambi changes. God changes that no work of the Father changes as it becomes manifest. No work changes. What did they teach you? Oh, everything must change. Everything must get better. No. They did this stuff so that now when you go to see the Father, I don't know you. You part of this change movement. I didn't change anything. How the whole earth is full of water, the clouds, the dew, the rain rest upon it. Okay? Contemplate and see all the trees upon withered, all their leaves are stripped. The exception of the 14 trees which are not stripped, which remain with the old leaves, and not until the new come after 2 or 3 years. And again, contemplate the days of summer, how it is the beginning, the sun is above, you seek shelter and shade because of the heat, and the earth burns with scorching heat, and you cannot tread upon the earth or upon the rock because of this heat, like when you're walking on the sand. Contemplate how the trees are covered with green leaves and bear fruit. Green leaves and bear fruit, and understand and respect of everything, and perceive how he who lives forever made all these things for you. But now all of a sudden, you got to run to the grocery store all the time. That was a part of the deception. Now all of a sudden, you got to go worry about shopping in cities and stuff that who's benefiting, you or them. Okay? That's why everything going to be reset the right way to where it doesn't just benefit the people who buy, it benefits the people who sell, and nothing affects you negatively. Their energy stays positive all day long. You do not get, you don't get drained, you get empowered. Big difference. And how his works are done before him in each succeeding year, and all his works serve him. See? And all his works serve him and do not change. Let me say it again. And do not change. Let me say it again. And do not change. Oh no, God changed this, God changed that. Man, ooh, you're going to find out. That's why Toko and Kimbangu said we need to get back on schedule of the things, and then they turn it into religion again. Everything he did is now we just follow what he did. No, but you need to go back to where it was. Progressively take it back to get out of the usury, to get out of the false system. We telling you, man, you don't get it. He does not call anything by any pagan names. I'm telling you, you're being deceived by the Pied Pipers all over the place. They're helping you and taking bribes at the same time. They're helping you and they're taking bribes at the same time. That's the Pied Piper. Nope, don't do it. This is what we're fighting against right now. But you sinners, it says, he made this earth. It said his creation serves him and he doesn't change. And Tatanzam is created. Everything is done. That is why Kuswa Kongo said it is finished. It is done. It means that the tree of life remained the tree of life and never changed. So then now how can he become the tree of death as a hypocrite? He cannot. He cannot. Okay? And consider how the seas and rivers together complete their task. But you sinners, what is a sinner? One who serves the hypocrite, one who serves the goat god, one who serves the one that was used as a scapegoat, one who does what? According to the opposite. You have not preserved nor observed the law of the Fumu, but you have transgressed and have spoken proud and hard words with your unclean mouth against his majesty. How do you see, and many people don't understand, these Christians up here raising their hands up, names of blasphemy all day long. Muslims, names of blasphemy. Judaism, names of blasphemy. Okay, you sitting there, standing there in the sanctuary of an unclean place, where they're slaughtering the pig to Tammuz all day long, cleaning up the outside but not the inside, but you're not a sinner. You hard of heart, see? You will not have peace, correct? And this is what I tell everybody. If you want peace, if you want peace, stop being a hypocrite. Me too. I tell myself all the time, Dre, you want peace? But see, that's the whole concept. We living in America. America cannot have peace. Canada cannot have peace. Okay, nobody's house can have peace if they choose to transgress the law, statutes, and the commandments. So of course, when the Most High going to hit them upside the head, they're going to say, damn, why didn't we listen? They're going to hit them out of nowhere. Let them keep running around like as if there ain't nothing going to happen to them. They done. All of us have to be aware of this. Our hearts have to be what? Humble. We have to understand, do not lead anyone away from the Messiah that is not a hypocrite. We have to be very careful of those who are listening to the false gods playing both sides. Okay? You're going to see what's going to happen with those who try to take down the ministries of people who they themselves were doing their part to also understand we are going to be saved by Ark Mwanda. Cain tried to kill all the animals, and he's trying to kill all the chosen too. He will not succeed. He will not succeed. He's trying to kill everybody that's going to get saved again and make everybody dirty and lying about it. No, you're clean. No, you're filthy. You cannot be clean with a hypocritical God. So now you're going to find out your family members didn't go anywhere that you think if they did not receive the true non-hypocritical God. And it's going to hit them up inside the head because they think they know everything and they're going to find out they don't know nothing because you're following Pied Pipers all day long and you don't get it. And you're putting demons on your children and they're messing them up and they're getting themselves in trouble with the spiritual realm and you don't even know. And because of this, you will curse your days and the years of your life, and of life you will destroy. That's why you now see people having medical problems. That's why people having all these issues like what's going on? Because the Most High has cursed your days. And the eternal curse will increase, and you will not receive mercy. That's why people begging for mercy. Oh, what's going on? I'm not. Why is everything, man? Where's the Most High? Okay. In those days, you will transform your name into an eternal curse. That's the reason why they do not want you to go back to the correct names or the way. The dog God is always going to want to keep you in curses all day long. And they will curse you sinners forever. And for all you sinners, there will be no salvation. What does that mean? Those who listen to the hypocrites on how to live and not the one who isn't. And I tell people this, we better start paying attention. Me too. Everybody who thinks that they're not, I was like, don't assume nothing. For the chosen, there will be light, joy, and peace, and they will inherit the earth. But for you impious, there will be a curse. When wisdom is given to the chosen, they will all live. Who gives you wisdom? Who Ngoma? Who gives you the wisdom? Who gives you the wisdom? You cannot get the wisdom from the tree of knowledge and good and evil. No. It has to be the tree that's not a hypocrite. Tatanzambi King Congo, Soninanini, he has to give you the wisdom. Nobody out here that's a hypocrite can give you the wisdom. Yeah, they can teach you some truth. Yeah, you can learn some things. The Most High can use them. But where did it come from? Not the hypocrite. And you're going to find this out. And he will not again do wrong either from the, okay, when wisdom is given, they will live, and they will not again do wrong, neither through forgetfulness or through pride, but those who possess wisdom will be humble. Humble. What's humility? What's humbleness? What's humbleness? Not being pride of heart. Not being, you're going to have what? A good brain, a good memory. What do you think Alzheimer's is about? What do you think all these diseases you're getting? It's because you don't have the wisdom of the one who wasn't a hypocrite. They will not again do wrong. They will not be judged in all the days of their life, and they will not die of the wrath or anger, but they will complete the number of days of their life, and their life will grow in peace, and the years of their joy will increase in gladness and eternal peace all the days of their life. Okay? That's significant why this book is not in there. Why would people who love you deny you the knowledge of this? Why would people who care about you not even teach this to you? Why would people who care about your future not even allow you to understand what this means? Why? Because it's very simple. You love the God that's not a hypocrite. He will give you the wisdom to live forever. You love the God that is a hypocrite, you are eternally destroyed. And they know it. And this is what they did to you. And this is why I told people, okay, you're going to be so mad. Because that's why I said, I learned I'm not crazy, but whatever you want to say, what is my motivation to lie? If I'm telling you, I know the difference between the God who is not the hypocrite and the one who is. And I'm telling you, every structure will now burn. Everything that is made from the hypocrites will be destroyed. Everybody who taught the Most High's children to be a hypocrite, you are going to perish. We tried to warn people. We tried to tell people, stop teaching us lies in the church, in the school. Okay? Why am I getting in trouble? I don't get it. Okay? Getting us frustrated, getting us angry. Why? Because you didn't listen. Stop giving us crap. Give us the bread, not the crumbs, and don't give us the worms. How can we trust people who want to continue to bring us to the God of hypocrisy? And now they have people that are claiming that I was doing that. Okay. They're going to see, if you go back through every video I ever did, the one thing I said was check the spirit. Don't just assume. Just because you saw me talking to somebody, that doesn't mean that I didn't question them. That doesn't mean I trusted them. You have been deceived. All it means was I was checking to see who was who. Are you really helping me to get power, or are you jealous of me and you're trying to make me stumble? Are you trying to keep me in my vomit, or are you really trying to get me out of it? This is what we're talking about. Are you leading me to the shepherd? Are you taking me away from him? That's how this works. And the real Messiah going to say, I sent you to the people, and they did what? They robbed me. Now they're going to pay for it. I sent you to people to learn, and they did evil for evil. Now I have to deal with that. I sent you to this person, I sent you to that person, and rather than that, you did me dirty. But then there were those that I sent you to that they actually did you well, that they loved you, that they cared about you, they're concerned about you. Who are these people? Kembo na tatanzami ya mazulu kimfumo kyakuisa. Nzambi mawesha nzambi akubenesa nzambi monene. Nzambi ampunga nzambi anzola. Bayete nkosi kemba hallelujah. I'm telling you right now, when the Father strips the world of these false languages, that's when the world's going to wake up. Because he can teach the Most High's language in one day. He did it to Yosef, he can do it to anybody. He sent them one of Vilala. Oh man, the languages were flowing. You have so many people that have made up a language that is cursing people. They don't even know what they're saying. Translate it. That's not what it means. It means I don't know how to speak your language. So what did I say? Interpret it. This is what I said to you. What did I say? I don't speak German. I don't speak French. Well, I kind of little bit, okay? Not much. I don't speak Italian. What did I say? I just spoke Italian to you. Wait till this happens, people. It's coming. Toko just started. He just gave an example when he did it. The Mwanda Vilala, once again, is going to blow people away when this entire earth is now going to be exposed for what it is. When the Most High speaks, the Holy Spirit will reign. When the Most High come, the Holy Spirit going to speak, and people are going to be shocked. Wow, that's what those are the real words. Those are the real Bible. Oh, what was I following? Oh my gosh, what was I listening to? Who was my God? It's going to shock people. All right. Let me play the music. Again, I don't own the rights to it. It's for the edification of the channel only, and not for redistribution of any kind. All right. Like I said, I like this song. Does it mean I know the Tokwis and the Kimbangwas, they have a lot of good information, and I love what they teach. Do they have hypocrisy among some people? Yes, they do. I'm telling you right now, the Most High knows who Toko and Kimbangu is talking to and who he is not. The real Simon Toko is still running the earth, and he knows who is telling the truth about him and who's lying. The same with the Kimbangu. Every one of these people, they know. The Most High knows who's who's turning things into a religion, who's getting rid of the debt, and who's keeping people in debt. I'm telling you the truth. Usury and debt is illegal. And these banks are now going to pay for it. The stock market is illegal. They keep fighting. No, we're going to make a new stock market. Okay. Watch what's going to happen. Cain don't listen. No, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I don't care. You're not going to stop me. Fine. Wait and see what's going to happen. It's going to be bad. Jesus, above say, Child of Reference 12. This is not the real Messiah, though. He's a servant. He was not the real Messiah. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, come on. He even said so. Samuna, Samuna. He said he's speaking from my guts. Please to involuzi. Samuna, Samuna. Yesu Kristo involuzi. This is the trial of Reverend Charles Simon Toko, a Tusadi, a servant of Infumu Yesu Kuswa Congo. He is not the one that Rome crucified. If you keep believing that, you're going to be destroyed. Kimbangu was a servant. He is not the one that was crucified. If you keep believing it, you're going to be dead. If you think that the one that Christian gave you is the one they crucified, you're going to be deceived. No. If you think that Islam is serving him, no. Judaism, for sure, they know. Samuna, Samuna, Yesu Kristu involuzi. He was made indestructible by the Montevillain. Yesu Kristu involuzi. If you think the temple of the Most High is a physical place here on earth, you are going to be destroyed. He does not dwell in buildings with a wood and stone. Okay? And the spiritual temple, the temple of David, is not a physical structure. You're going to be you've been deceived, bamboozled. Samuna, Samuna, Yesu Kristo involuzi. Samuna, Samuna, Yesu Kristo involuzi. He told his followers, I am not the one, but he is with me. So you better get it straight, people. He is not the one that crucified the Simon Toko that came in 1918 is not the one that they crucified 2,000 years ago, but he was called to be the one to bring back the truth. And this guy came to take away the usury, to give it back, to take away the lampstands of the 7 churches and give them back to Tatanzambi. Samuna, Yesu Kristo involuzi. Samuna, Samuna, Yesu Kristo involuzi. Maya Moya Tukusifanga. He took away what Esau did. You should not have any usury since 1984. If you did, that means the hypocrites were lying to you. He took away the usury in 1981. So you should not have any debt. And he did, and he said so. They're robbing the temple, people. If your debt has not been expunged by by this kingdom, you are with an imposter. And they're robbing the temple. They're going to be destroyed for it. That man took away the usury with Kimbangu as well. They are robbing the temple. The world should not be in debt since 1984 if they are in fact attached to the spiritual temple of David. You should not have debt. You should not have interest. You should not have any of these things. The Most High did it in the 1920s. He took it all away. Our gatekeepers keep giving it back to the Pharaoh, and now they are done. Any pastor that is keeping the usury system going, anyone who continues to hold debt over the house of Isolele, anyone that continues to rob the temple of Davidi is going to be destroyed. Period. And they're now going to do it. This is what these so-called UFOs they're calling about. They are here to destroy you. All of them. And the United States military can't do nothing about it. And the Russian military can't do nothing about it. And the Chinese military cannot do nothing about it. All of these beings that are here are going to destroy you. Because I told you, stop robbing the temple of the Most High. So here is going to be your soon-to-be Christmas present from Nimrod. He is going to destroy you. Tammuz is going to destroy you. Okay? Ishtar is going to destroy you. Because they're going to turn on the whore. Every city is going to burn. That the Most High said, I will now burn the whore with fire. And they are going to burn this place. You see what's going on in Malibu right now. It's already started. America is going to burn. Rome is going to burn. Europe is going to burn. Canada is going to burn. Everywhere is going to burn. Africa is going to burn. Because I told you, people, you cannot continue to rob the Most High and he don't destroy you. The usury system, you are now, this is why they're running now to the bunkers. Oh my gosh. I done told people, man, you are now cooked. You're done. What is happening? When they open up this vault, you might as well be canceling everything from here on out. Because all of these gods are going to destroy you. All of the Anunnaki, all of the Watchers, all of whoever you love these gods so much, they are going to destroy you. You think Donald Trump is not working for Lucifer? You fool yourself. But he can be used by the Most High. You think that Kamala Harris wasn't working for Lucifer? You fool yourself. If you think America, the God of America, is not the hypocrite, you are in for a big surprise. If you think the God of Britain is not the hypocrite, you are in. If you think that the God of Africa is not the hypocrite, you are in for a big surprise. It is time now that Tatan Zombie is going to bring the judgment upon all thieves that have stolen from the kingdom, that continue to rob his people. So you can say congratulations to your presidents and your rulers. They have gotten you destroyed. Every last one of them. Because they are robbing the Most High and they're laughing at him. Yeah, okay, it's over. He's coming. For every sheep that they devoured, they must now get devoured. How many have they eaten so far? Multiply that by how many? Tenfold. Now that's their judgment. Okay? I'm just telling, I'm just as the embassy, you can forget what they are promising you. I'm just telling you, it ain't gonna be pretty. I don't know when it's coming. Oh, but it's coming. Guarantee that. Anyway, Zola Quingi Sambololo is a Wezi Abe Congo Kutwala Ingita.